Well, hi. Today is Tuesday, January 27th, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. Yeah, a little bit raspy, cause some kind of chest thing that, from what I've heard, people have had it a whole lot worse than I've had it. So I'm very thankful that this seems to be something mild, and hopefully we'll get over it very soon. You probably have noticed if you've been traveling up and down Broadway in Council Bluffs that an old standard isn't there anymore. Grease Monkey is gone. Grease Monkey was there on Broadway for 40 years, and now it is let's see, Valvoline instant oil change. So Brad Krause decided to go ahead and take an opportunity to retire and sold. And that is now the new place to get your oil change, Valvoline instant oil change. Well, I thought we should learn a little bit more about what's going on with Brad and his decision behind it. So we brought him into the studio for a conversation. How about that? We have Brad Krause, formerly of Grease Monkey, on today's show here on Morning Coffee. Morning Coffee is brought to you by Steve Erlob, your Edward Jones financial advisor in Council Bluffs. Learn how he can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Bloomwork Floral has been bringing beauty to Council Bluffs for years with fresh floral arrangements for every moment worth celebrating. They specialize in creative wedding designs. They can also provide you with stunning sympathy flowers, thoughtful gift bouquets, prom accessories, and local delivery. So, if you want blooms for a special event or just to brighten someone's day, Bloomworks Floral combines local charm with expert craftsmanship. Visit ebloomworks.com to explore their galleries, subscription packages, and same-day delivery options. Check out ebloomworks.com. After a 2-year renovation, a true downtown Council Bluffs landmark is open once again. You know how I know that? Because it's where I am at right now. The Park Building has been fully refreshed with new finishes, updated HVAC, and modern amenities, all while keeping the historic charm that makes this building so special. Office space is now available. Single-room office starts at just $450 per month. Full-floor suites, $15 per square foot. Tenants also enjoy shared conference space on the third floor, guest Wi-Fi, flexible 12-month leases, and a location that puts you right in the heart of Council Bluffs. The Park Building, open and ready for your business. I am a big fan of entrepreneurs, and today we get to celebrate one that has graduated out of being an entrepreneur, and now you are a business seller. This is Brad Krause, formerly of Grease Monkey, although you still got the T-shirt on.
Yeah, I do.
You probably own one or two of those, don't you?
A couple dozen, yes.
And listen, I know that you broke everybody's heart because I know that you had so many people coming through your shop getting their car serviced there. But at the same time, I look at you as a model of what a successful businessman can be. Because seriously, you have done so much with that shop, and you've done so much for the community, and you've had so many young people coming through there that have been able to have jobs with you. It's been quite a ride.
It has. It has.
So at what point did it enter into your mind that, all right, maybe it's time to sell the shop and be done?
Well, the Valvoline Express that did buy us, they called us about August or September, August of 2024.
Okay.
And they asked if we ever thought about selling. And I go, well, we actually had been thinking about it. And knowing that our contract was going to be up with Grease Monkey in December of 2025, they were based on a 20-year. My dad signed it in 85. In 2005, my dad, Tony Stavalski, and I went down and re-signed it again. Actually, we were a few years late. They didn't catch it out in Denver, and but it went back to the original date. They flew a guy in and said, "This guy ain't leaving town until you and Tony and your dad sign this piece of paper." And I'm like, What? Okay. So anyway, so then it came up to 2025, and we were going to resign for another 20 more years. So
And you just couldn't see yourself doing it for another 20.
I'm like, man, it's just like,
That's a lot.
yeah. And my son wasn't old enough, and there wasn't enough. It just things weren't adding up, and it was his time. And plus we had a buyer. So, well, we actually had two buyers. Uh, so Grease Monkey in Colorado chose not to buy, but they said their other right was to try and find a Grease Monkey that would want to buy us. Well, knowing that I already knew the Omaha store wanted to buy us, because we had talked to them about it also at one time. So, but then the interest rates were too high on a small business loan, and they just hit a big expansion over in Omaha there, and they just said that the interest rate was too much, and it just it wasn't adding up, and so this other company, Valvoline Express Lube, they owned all the rights to Des Moines, and they just purchased all the rights to Omaha. The guy over in Omaha was supposed to expand to 7 stores, and he had only had 2 stores, and he's had them for like 20 plus years. And Valvoline called him and said, "You never expanded to your other 5 stores," and he goes, "I'm not going to." I'm like, two's enough, and I'm not going to expand. So these guys came down from Des Moines and bought the rights to Omaha, and then told the guy that owned the 2 stores, whenever he's ready to retire, they will purchase his 2 stores. And so so they're over in Omaha, and they're like, "Oh, what's this Council Bluffs over here?" And they did some research and came over, and they told me in their research, they we don't want to be in competition with this Grease Monkey. Well, let's just buy the Grease Monkey, then we don't have to worry about it.
Well, I can't think of a single time that I ever drove past and you didn't have a line of cars. I mean, it was just always. I don't think I ever saw when there was nobody waiting.
There was a line every day, all day. This last year, it did start dying down at the 5:15, 5:30 area. It started this last year. It mellowed out that last hour. So, which is kind of nice to go into a little mellow stage, and then close at 6 and get everything done, and just, but yeah. But yes, there was a line every day, all day.
Why do you think that is? From a business standpoint? No, seriously. Take a step out of because I know how you feel about singing your own praises. You're not going to do it. But there had to have been something about your marketing, something about your customer service, something that you had very loyal clients.
We do. I have been getting phone calls, and I went to Village Inn the other night and had dinner with my wife and kid. I got yelled at by someone. I go to Menards. I went to Menards a few weeks ago, like a week ago, and I didn't get stopped once, but I got stopped 2 or 3 times, and people were like, I'm walking down an aisle. I'm trying to go down aisles where there's nobody there, and I'm like, I got stopped 2 or 3 different times, and like, "What do you think you're doing?" I'm like, I guess I'm retiring. Well, that's not very nice of you to do that. I mean, but anyway.
Well, that's that whole, It's a Wonderful Life thing, where you're talking, and they say that, when somebody leaves, it leaves a heck of a hole in a community. And listen, there's a lot of folks in town that trusted you and believed that you were the only place that they would go to. So I'm not saying that from an aspect of you shouldn't have sold. You made the right choice. I mean, another 20 years. I mean, that's just crazy. But it has to feel good at a certain level that, you know what, I did make a difference. This business that I grew for 40 years mattered.
You know, yeah, I mean, yes, I do. A lot of things have been changed. I mean, um, this last 2 weeks, things have been feeling weird, and I'm like, whoa. And I have been still going down and unlocking the building, uh, and turning, getting because they still have inventory in there. So I've been trying to get down there by 8:15, 8:30, and just in case they're supposed to have it all out by the end of the month. But I look over there and I'm like, wow, I should be over there and help. I mean, what am I supposed to be doing here? I'm like, it is kind of weird.
It's got to be tough.
It is.
It's got to be tough because something that has been your routine for as long as it has been, now you're demanding of yourself that, okay, we're going to stop doing this. And look, I know you're still out doing stuff. You haven't stopped.
No.
But it's just you don't have Grease Monkey anymore. That's really the only difference.
Yeah.
Just it's I can tell that this is you're still going through a lot of stages with all of this. But for me, and the reason that I wanted to talk to you today, Brad, was just because of I don't know of how much you're aware of the inspiration that you are, because that level of success with what it is that you did, and you did it by building relationships. And we preach about that all the time on this show, that whether you're in Council Bluffs or in the other smaller communities around Southwest Iowa, it's about relationships. And you treated everybody with respect. You treated everybody correctly and right when they came through your door. You made sure that you weren't cheating anybody. You very, very fair prices, usually cheaper than other places. I would come in and I know that because I'd get a synthetic oil change from you, and you were less than other places. And I also knew that if there was anything going on, you'd let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember tightening up some fender bolts or something. You brought the car and it was squeaking, and we tightened up. Didn't we tighten up a bunch of bolts? Or some fender bolts.
Well, there was some bars underneath that were loose.
Yeah,
I don't remember specifically what it was, but it's, and now that last oil change that I got from you just ran out.
Okay.
So now I don't know what to do. I guess we can go give Valvoline a try, because I'm familiar with the shop and my car knows the way there.
Yeah.
But and plus I didn't know that this was happening until after it was done. And I think that was the case with a lot of people, wasn't
it? Yeah, we had it on Facebook. There was some stuff on Facebook. There was some stuff said. I thought about taking out an ad in the paper, but it did kind of, I don't want to say it came fast. It did come fast, but we knew about it for almost a whole entire year. So Tony, Steve, and I decided last year that we would, they wanted to buy us last December, and then the paperwork wasn't going through, and it wasn't going to get done in time, and so we didn't make it by December 31st of last year. So then they were talking about February or March, and then the more I started thinking about it, and I'm like, I ran it past Tony and Steve, and I'm like, let's just finish out our whole entire 40-year commitment. Let's go to December of 2025. And then we could have, I really wanted to have our 40th anniversary. I mean, it was December 2nd. I did have a food truck down there, 221 Grill. Did an awesome job for us. Had some hot dogs, smash burgers, and sloppy joes, and it was great. I mean, people came by, had some big people refreshments after 3 o'clock, and It was nice. That way, the more I thought about it last year, it's like, who wants to go their life saying, well, I ran this business and we lasted 39 and a half years. I mean, 39 and a half. Okay. So, I mean,
That's a really good point.
so I'm like,
Yeah.
let's finish out our contract and let's go. And that way I can say, okay, we had Grease Monkey and it was, I think, in my opinion, it was pretty successful.
I
40 years.
not an opinion. It's very apparent that that's what it was.
So,
and you've had, as I mentioned before, you had a lot of people come through, employees, and were able to work. And I've never been through there for an oil change where it was a bad experience, meaning like even from the customer service standpoint, that's a culture that you had to create. Did you set out to do it, or did it just kind of happen that way?
It just kind of, I mean, I was working at Napa Auto Parts. My dad just came to me one day and said, hey, it was on the fifth year, because I've been there for 35 years. One of the one of the guys that was there forever, from day one, he got hurt, and my dad said, I really, really need you. And you're not very happy at Napa right now. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, when are you going to come home? When are you going to come work for me? And so that's actually how that happened, back in 1990. And so I put my notice in and came working for my dad. And then, I don't know,
Now there's something to that though too. I mean, I spent some time as a young man working for my dad.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember about him.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of my dad, I think about being on a home build, because he was framing houses at the time.
Okay.
And I was out there as a laborer. And that's what when I think about him, that's what I remember. And I don't know if that's the same for everybody.
Yeah.
But when you have an opportunity to do that, it can be pretty special.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed those several years with my dad, and it was, my phone keeps ringing. I thought I turned the ringer off, and apparently I didn't turn it off.
Well, one of the things that we do on this show is we stress of how much real life that we have going on here.
Yeah.
And that's just part of it. I don't care.
No, I'm going to turn I thought I had it on.
That was probably another 3 or 4 people wanting to know when they could make it. When are you going to be back so I can come down and get my oil changed? Because these guys, I don't recognize them.
Yeah, I have been getting that. Now it's vibrating the table.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm leaving all that in, right?
Well, I didn't think it was going to vibrate the whole table. Yeah, they have been calling, and they are ups. I mean, a few people, they're not upset. They're happy for me. They're like, but man,
well, I know how they feel.
Yeah.
I know how they feel, because it's, you were part of the routine.
Yeah, I know.
And that's just how it is. So, but that's okay, because, in before you went there, you weren't part of the routine. So it's just, it's been a really long cycle, but we've come to the end of it now.
Yeah.
And what does that mean for Brad Krause? I mean, what are you going to be out there doing? What's have you figured anything out yet? Anything that you want to do? Is fishing? Are you taking up golf or skeet shooting? What's going on?
Well, you know that I have a pretty serious addiction problem.
Yeah, I've been in your shop.
I just can't get past this addiction of buying motorcycles. So I've been
My favorite story, and we've talked about this before years ago when we sat down and did one of these back when it was only audio, was I was talking to you about this old moped that we had when I was a kid, and I told you about how the motor on the back, you drop it down onto the wheel after you pedaled for a while, and that would kick it started and get things going, and I said it was just cool. And you pulled up a picture. You said, "Oh, you mean this?" And then you said, "Yeah, I got 3 of them."
I think you're referring to an AMF Roadmaster, and it was probably orange or reddish.
This one was reddish.
Reddish with some orange stripes.
Yeah.
And AMF Roadmaster, and yes, it had a McCullough motor on it,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a little black lever. You would pedal like a bicycle,
Right.
and then you could reach back there and flip that lever, and then the motor would like spring down. And yes, I do have a half a dozen of them.
You got a half a dozen.
So yeah.
You should. You know what you should do is open a museum.
That's actually what I've been wanting to do.
Yeah, that would be cool. It would be especially with this town, with the now tradition of bike night through the summertime, and staying open late on a night like that. So that there'd be a ton of interest, and I think that you worked really hard to pull all that collection together. And I'm sure I don't even know 0.5% of everything you got, but I know it'd be cool to see.
I do want to do that. I am looking at a couple buildings in Council Bluffs.
Mhm.
I would rather stay in Council Bluffs since I've been born and raised here. But yeah, I guess if I had to go to Omaha, I guess I could. Or
you can find something here.
I know I could find something, but I've gone to the Council Bluffs chamber, and I think the one time I went there, they just laughed at me. This was several years ago.
Right.
It was like no, that wouldn't work in this town.
It'll work.
Oh, I'm like,
No, it would work. Have you seen the motorcycles that come through town?
Oh, yeah.
And not just on bike night.
Yeah.
They're coming through, and then they head up Old Lincoln Highway.
Yep.
And they go run the Luss Hill Scenic Byway.
Yep.
And yeah, that would, maybe even up Old Lincoln Highway.
Yeah.
That might be a great place too.
Yeah.
You'd have a crowd in there.
Yeah.
If it was warm out, so people could be on their bikes.
Yeah.
It'd be a stop.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of cool. I mean, that's what I've been trying to do, and I've been buying. Matter of fact, I just bought some memorabilia yesterday, some bunch of magazines, and a really cool old Firestone windbreaker from from the '60s. I got that from J&J auction. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Actually, I ended up with five of the 7 posters, like the hill climb posters, and the hair scramble posters, all dated 1966, 67, and 68. They're pretty cool posters.
We used to go to hill climbs a lot when I was a kid. There was a big one by Ida Grove that we'd go to. I was little.
Yeah.
So to me, that looked like a mountain.
Yep.
But and watching those guys, and back then those old bikes, they had been hand customized in order to be able to do that. So the back was all lengthened out, and watching these guys, and I learned that the key was to keep the back wheel spinning all the way up, and how they do that, because if it ever grabbed, then it would just flip out from underneath of them. And I was surprised how entertaining that was. So that's I think that's, I could see that being your next passion.
Oh yeah.
And see, now I'm going to start looking at properties for you. How many square feet do you need? I just hate to guess, with what you got, because it's not just to store them in there. You got to have room for people to move around. It's got to look like something. So,
I'd probably need 6,000 to 7,000 square foot, I think.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a man looking for it right here.
So
we need a cool motorcycle museum here in town, and then once that happens, then it could just start growing, and who knows what you might go find after that if you knew you had a home for it.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you buy a motorcycle, where are you putting it? Probably not a lot of space.
Yeah,
right?
I have a couple spots where and they're all full. I just
Hanging them from the rafters.
I do, yes. I have all my bicycles and all that hanging from rafter. Yes. I just usually go in there and try and squish a little bit more this way and this way, and it's been kind of crazy especially this last year and a half, 2 years. I haven't slowed down buying anything. Matter of fact, it's actually gotten. I mean,
now you got more time to do it.
Oh yeah, someone said that. Yeah, you're retiring. Now you can take your motorcycle buying and collecting to a more serious level. I'm like,
that's just what your wife wanted to hear. Right?
Oh yeah. She turned around and like, oh no, and so yeah, it's already past the serious part. But yeah, I do seriously have to get rid of some of the more,
Well, at your heart, Brad, you're a businessman.
Yeah.
And whether it be with Grease Monkey, whether it be as a property owner, whether it be selling me bacon out of a freezer, you're a businessman. Yeah. And once that's in your blood, it's there. Yeah. So I know you're going to find something. You're going to find something that'll entertain you, that'll keep you busy. And I don't say it lightly when I say congratulations on a great, great run. I mean, it was watching you from afar, what you did has been, I have enjoyed that part of it. Yeah. And I've also enjoyed getting my oil changed and knowing that, everything was going to be taken care of. So we're off to find the next person with that. Yeah. I'm going to go see if I can find you a building, and we're going to just move on into the next chapter.
There you go. Okay.
All right. Well,
okay.
Thank you much, sir.
Thank you. All righty.
I've known Brad for a few years, and I've seen online people missing him already. When we get used to something, and especially in a tight-knit community that we live in, it's sad when something comes to an end, but also, in my mind, it's something to be celebrated. And we should look to Brad, as I mentioned, as an inspiration to what a small business owner can and should be. He did a great job while just changing our oil and servicing our cars here in Council Bluffs. One small little area we knew we didn't have to worry about, and Brad took care of that for us. So Brad Krause, again, thank you for being a part of the show today. Thank you for all that it is that you did for the community of Council Bluffs. If you have a leak, a clogged drain, or planning a big remodel, Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs has you covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship, handling everything from small repairs to major installations. They're locally owned and trusted and take pride in doing the job right the first time. So give them a call or visit them online, waldsteinplumbing.com. Good morning. Start with peace of mind at Miners Healthcare. They provide professional in-home support where it matters most, helping individuals maintain comfort, dignity, and independence in their daily lives. Their experienced nursing team focuses on personalized care, clear communication, and supporting families through every step of the process. It is healthcare built on trust, compassion, and real relationships. Learn more at minershealthcare.com. And if you like driving, you should be getting paid for it as a first student bus driver. You'll work short hours, earn a competitive wage, and make a difference in the lives of children. And that pay starts with a sign-on bonus. Fully licensed drivers get a sign-on bonus of $4,000. And if you don't have your CDL yet, you get a sign-on bonus of $3,000 once it's obtained. Every driver gets on-the-job training, so don't wait. Apply today at workatfirst.com. I remember back when I first met Brad Krause, and I had him in on an old podcast. It was called Success in Iowa. And I said, all right, you got to help me out here. How do you pronounce your last name? Because it's Krause. And he said, he kind of laughed a little bit. He said, it's Kruse. And I thought, well, that's not spelled right. But I'm thrilled that I got to know Brad over the years, and I'm also very thankful that I get to call him friend. And thankful again, Brad, that you came in and joined us today. That wraps up today's show. Thank you so much for being a part of it. My name is Todd Studer. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.